For the first time, Chelsea has lost a match after taking the lead. From Charles de Catarella 83 minutes dagger to Maresca tactical mistake, our defensive lapses, and the ongoing issue in the attack. It's all add up. Let's break it down and find out 5 things we learned from Atalanta 2, Chelsea 1. But before we dive into this depressing review, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, you know the drills. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. Chelsea have failed to secure a win at Belgrado, a missed opportunity to strengthen our position in the top 8 of the Champions League. That makes it 4 games in a row without a victory. A proper welcome to December. So sit tight. Let's dive into the 5 things we learned from Atalanta 2, Chelsea 1. Starting with Maresca tactical and squad selection disaster class. Let's not dance around it. This loss is on Maresca. Full stop. The confirmed 11 already told us we are walking into trouble. The starting lineup of Sanchez, Achampong, Chalobah, Badiashile, Cucurella, James, Caicedo, Neto, Gittins, and Joao Pedro. From the very first whistle, you could feel the disarray. The structure was off, the idea wasn't clear, and the substitution later on made the chaos worse. And I'm saying this as someone who defends us and this project, but tonight the manager cooked absolute rubbish. And what even makes this worse, we snapped a record that stood for over a decade. Chelsea were unbeaten in 41 UEFA Champions League games when leading at halftime. Before tonight, 37 wins, 4 draws. With this, their first loss after leading at the break in the competition since September 2013 versus Basel. That start alone showed you the monumental collapse this is. We are talking about the level of incompetence that makes you genuinely question what the plan was. And the squad decision, don't even get me started. Cole Palmer, our best player, wasn't even in the squad. Extova, our highest Champions League goal scorer, didn't even get a minute. At this stage, Maresca has completely lost it. And given the way the December form is spiraling, Maresca is doing himself no favors. And I'm even shocked he didn't summon Extova on the right, instead of forcing Gittin into a role he clearly wasn't comfortable in. Gittin was having a stinker, and the number speaks for itself. 6.2 rating, 1 key pass, 0 accurate crosses, 1 shot, 33 touches. That's not a winger output, that's a fullback on a bad day output, and he played for 90 minutes. Madness. Absolute dog shit management from Maresca. And this isn't just about one game, it's about confidence, cohesion, and trust evaporating because the coach keep overthinking the simplest decision. When your team selection and rotation start to actively destabilize the starting 11, you have got a problem. And then the subs, oh my god. Bringing on Gusto for Enzo, leaving us basically with 6 defensive outfield players on the pitch. That's textbook overthinking. You don't protect a lead by removing your ability to get out. That's inviting pressure, and that's exactly what killed us. To top it off, we are now on another unwanted record. Chelsea has gone 5 Champions League games away without a win for the first time since 2012. This is not who we are, and this is not who we should ever be. And tonight proved that unless Maresca stops shooting himself in the foot, this team will keep tripping over avoidable nonsense. Which brings me to the second thing we learned: a game of 2 halves. This was a textbook definition of a game of 2 halves. We actually started well, and that's the part that pisses me off the most. We had control, we had rhythm, we had the platform to kill this match, and we did absolutely nothing with it. Joao Pedro opened the scoring with a composed finish after a clean, methodical build-up, with James slots the assist. And let's be honest, James was one of the few bright spots tonight. He finished with a 7.1 rating, 1 assist, 1 big chance created, 3 key passes, 91% pass accuracy, 3 shots, 3 defensive contributions, 2 interceptions, 1 clearance, 6 recoveries. He was everywhere. He controlled the midfield zone and detected tempo, threaded passes, spread switches. This was the Reece James we know, the Reece James we have been begging to see consistently. And alongside him, Moses Caicedo did what he always does: clean up the chaos so the rest of the team can breathe. Caicedo finished with a 6.9 rating, 9 defensive contribution, 4 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 clearance, 1 block, 5 recoveries, 6 ground duels, 2 aerial duels. That's elite ball winning. That's a foundation of a midfield that should have been enough to walk out of Italy with a result. But football isn't played on Excel tables. You have to turn dominance into pressure, pressure into chances, and chances into goals. And we did it. And this is where the frustration kicks in. We love the philosophy, but right now it's slow, predictable, and embarrassingly easy to defend. We control games until we drift into sleepwalking state, like we believe possession alone earns you points. It doesn't, not in Europe, not away from home, not against a team like Atalanta. And when the match flipped into a street fight, Atalanta adapted, they embraced the chaos, we drowned in it. For a good spell, we looked like a team with intention, structure, control, and positional discipline. Everything Maresca wanted us to be, but the second we took the lead, we failed to apply any sustained pressure. No push for second goal, no killer instinct, just dominance with zero edge. By the end of the first half, we already wasted the momentum. We blew chances, let the tempo drop, and we allowed Atalanta to slowly grow into the match. By the second half, we were not dictating anything, not the tempo, not the intensity, not even the duels. We were reacting, not imposing. Chelsea were on time early. We arrived into the match properly, but we never followed through. No consistency, no ruthlessness, no attempt to put the game to bed. And that's the most infiltrating part of this entire performance. We had the match exactly where we wanted it and let it slip straight through our hands. Which brings me to the third thing we learned. Defensive fragility resurfaced again. And this is where the anger really hits, because we have seen this script too many times. When the pressure rises, when the atmosphere tightens, when European away nights demand concentration, our backline just collapses. And tonight, it happened again. The equalizer was pure negligence. Scamacca, Atlanta's most obvious area threat, was left completely unmarked in the box. Nobody tracked him, nobody challenged him. Nobody even bothered to put a body on him. It's criminal defending. And at this level, we get punished every single time. And then there's the Tosin situation. Yes, I'm not putting the entire thing on him, but let's be fair, there is a pattern you can't ignore. Every time we concede big goals, every time the game swings negatively, Tosin seems to be on the pitch. He gave away the free kick that led to the second goal, and he finished with a 6.2 rating, 1 defensive contribution, 1 interception. That's not enough, not in a Champions League knockout environment where you are defending for your life. You need dominance, authority, presence. This was passive. And then Cucurella. Look, we love what he has been doing this season, but tonight he was poor. He finished with a 6.2 rating, 7 defensive contribution, 1 tackle, 2 interception, 3 clearance, 7 recoveries, 2 ground duel won, 1 area duel won, 2 key passes, and everyone who watched the game knows he looked fatigued, reactive, and a step slower than usual. And honestly, I can't blame him. The guy has played almost every single game for both club and country. He's exhausted, and you can see it in his leg. You can see it in his decision making. You can see it in how he reacts to crosses late in the match. Fatigue is not an excuse, but is a factor you can't ignore. Then the winning goal. Charles de Catalera hits a shot that took a deflection and wrong foot Sanchez. No keeper saved that. But the problem isn't the finish. It's everything leading up to it. The loose balls, the disjointed defensive line, the lack of communication, the chaos. We simply don't defend chaos well. And tonight exposed the truth. Our defense looked organized for 20 to 30 minutes, but under pressure, under fire, it cracks. This isn't just about mistake, it's about mentality. European nights demand concentration, coordination, leadership, and we don't have enough of that right now. We fold in big moments, we lose shape too easily, and it's costing us points, results, and momentum. If these lapses continue, the soft marking, the ball watching, the panic under pressure, we are going to keep suffering in tight European fixtures. And I'm tired of watching us throw away winnable matches because we switched off for 2 seconds. Which brings me to the fourth thing we learned. Individual qualities isn't showing up. Here is the harsh truth. Too many Chelsea players were hiding tonight. Too many were taking scared touches, playing it safe, recycling passes like they were afraid to make a mistake. Champions League demand leaders, not passengers. And tonight, we had passengers everywhere. When a team have more passengers than drivers, you lose. Plain and simple. Take Enzo for example. He's supposed to be a creative spark, a guy who can unlock defense. Instead, he was invisible for large period. A 6.3 rating, 67 minutes, 1 key passes, 1 accurate cross, 73% pass accuracy, 1 shot. This is not a midfielder leading a charge. This is a guy marking time on the pitch. Safe, nervous, ineffective. And sadly, he wasn't alone. Too many others were content to drift, hide, and wait for someone else to take responsibility. After conceding the second goal, Chelsea's reaction was sluggish at best. There was no sense of urgency, no composure, no tactical adaptability. You could see it in the way we moved the ball, in the lack of pressure, in the wasted opportunities. Our final chance, another opportunity for Joao Pedro, was squandered. A glaring reminder that when the stakes are high, we often lack the composure and sharpness to deliver. This isn't just about poor performance on the night. It's a hint at a deeper psychological issue. When things goes against us, we appear incapable of regrouping, adjusting, and pushing back with intent. Champions League football is about moments, and right now we are letting too many slip through our fingers. Until the individual steps up, until leader starts leading, we are going to keep seeing nights like this. Dominated in stats but powerless in impact. Which brings me to the last and final thing really. The attack is a joke right now. Let's cut the sugarcoating. Our attack right now is a joke. Zero killer instinct, zero aggression, plenty of pretty touches, but no final punch. We also defend the flashes of skills. But let me remind you, potential doesn't win Champions League away games. We are moving the ball without purpose and without intent. Joao Pedro gave us one moment of light, a composed finish for the opening goal. But then the numbers tell the true stories. 6.6 rating, 1 goal, 3 shots, 2 on target, 1 big chances missed, 44 touches, 14 possession lost. And that's the highlight reel. Despite scoring, he loses the ball far too often. And in games like this, those lost possession kills momentum. Then you look at Neto on the right, a 6.6 rating as well. 0 key passes, 1 cross, 0 shots. He did marginally better than Gittins, but the inconsistency is glaring. One game he looked like a potential starter, the next he disappears entirely. We can't ignore the flashes. There are moments where Chelsea looked capable of threatening. We scored, we had opportunities, we showed glimpses of intent. But football is about sustained pressure, about converting your advantage when it mattered. Missing the chance for the second goal before halftime, that alone changed the game. And after that, the cutting edge never returned. Ultimately, our attack played too sporadic, too inconsistent, too soft to carry us through away games of this level. Flashes of quality aren't enough to carry us in this Champions League game. You need ruthlessness, and right now, we don't have it. So that's the end of the video, my friends. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Go be.